There's a saying in the Talmud. It says over there that when who was it? When not Titus. Anyway, he wanted to destroy the Holy Temple. So he shot it up an arrow into the air. And he wanted to see if it would, and the arrow came back to him. So it says if you throw a stick into the air, an arrow, it'll come back to where its source is. Not always, but it does. Sort of like a boomerang, right? It says, what does this mean? It means that a Jew, no matter how far away he gets away from Judaism, he always comes back. Am I recording this? Yes. Our fathers, the holy Rebbes, they gave an inheritance to all of their followers, that their children and their children, their grandchildren, children of their sons and their daughters, throughout the generations, no matter where they are, they always feel that they have a root, which is the attraction of the innerness of their heart to the rock from which they came, to their Judaism, and to being a chassid. At times, this is covered and concealed in a number of garments. This is the service of whoever desires life. To remove all the coverings which conceal your true source, your true nature, your soul. To establish periods of study of Chassidut, the teachings of Chassidut. That's what we're doing in the morning. And then to conduct himself in the manner of the Chassidic community. And to conduct yourself in a manner that's fitting for a Chassid to do. I just heard a story the other day, and this is one part of this won't be the story, but I'll tell you the story. It was a video. An old fellow, an old Jew, a religious Jew, had a happy sort of looking face, but he could have been in his 90s. So he said after the war, when he was a young boy, he had a very good voice. And he had even sung in the synagogue of the Kloisenberger Rebbe. Kloisenberg, I guess that was like in Hungary, I think. In any case, the Kloisenberger Rebbe, it's known he was a very wonderful, genius, holy person. And he was taken into Auschwitz, I think. And they killed over there his whole family, 11 children, and his wife and her entire family. Like about 200 people in his immediate family were killed, and he got out. And there were so many other Jews that also got out. They also got out. And the ones that got out, they were in the same situation as he was. You know, they had lost friends, family, mothers, children. A lot of them were young people, a lot of them old. I mean, you can't imagine what type of a trauma these people had been through. So this old fellow is saying that he had been religious, but he left. After the Holocaust, somehow or other, he got out. Everybody else got killed. And he got out, and he was pretty much alone. And he had a nice voice. So he got into the theater, and he used to perform. And he totally left Judaism. He had absolutely nothing connection to Judaism. Judaism didn't, there's no reason, didn't really stand by him when he was in need. So somehow or other, he heard that he had some sort of a relative. He went over to his house. His relative was a little bit surprised, but not that surprised, because he was totally, didn't look religious, no sign of, had long hair. And he performed in front of these, at that time he was like 16. So this relative of his said, hey, let's go to the synagogue of the Kloisenberger Rebbe. So he didn't want to. He said, no, I don't want to go. But anyway, he said, come on, go. What do you care? So he went, and the Rebbe, however it was, after the prayers or whatever, he recognized him. And he came over to him, and he said, tomorrow morning, I want you to say the Hallel. It was Rosh Chodesh. So he said the Hallel prayer. He said, no, Rebbe, I'm not one of you anymore. I left. He says, you come, you say it. Says, Rebbe, I'm not going to do it. I don't want anything to do with you. I don't want to do it with religion. I don't want anything. But he didn't really mean it because he saw that the Rebbe's eyes, he couldn't. So the Rebbe made him to be Shliach Tzibur. I guess maybe put a talus over him so he wouldn't see his long hair and everything like that. And he started to sing. So he said, the Rebbe was saying also, and he's saying, Asaras Rani Yudke Hashem, V'lamavas Lona Sanani. He said, you made me suffer, God, you made me suffer, but you didn't give me into death. The Rebbe said. And he heard the Rebbe explain. Said, Yasar Yisrani Yudke. God, you made me suffer. You took away my 11 children. You took away my wife. You took away my family. But to me, you didn't kill. You didn't kill. He said he heard the Rebbe say this, and he couldn't continue praying. He just got stuck on one sentence, and he just started weeping, and the Rebbe motioned him to continue, and he just couldn't. And the Rebbe told him to sit down, and he brought somebody else, and he said, that's it. I returned back to God. In other words, everybody comes back to his source in the end, despite all of the, maybe because of all the suffering. As everyone comes back to his source, that is what a Jew is. Have a good day with Mashiach. Now, God willing, 3:00 or sometime in the afternoon, I'll give a class and I'll tell a story also. Shalom uvracha. Thank you for attending.